And today's verse is found in Proverbs chapter 19, verse 21. Many are the plans in a person's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails.
Last week you called me, the way you're talking's driving me insane. Hello. Just last week you called me, the way you're talking's driving me insane. Hello. Hello. Even if we're hanging by a thread, and the words you said is spinning.
Hey Mel. All right, solid work this week. Really happy with where we're at right now. You're handling this reverse really well. I want to taper down cardio again this week to 6 days of 25-minute steady state, and then we'll slowly kind of go up from there in terms of bringing food up, reintroducing free meals. Nutrition will hold steady, pull cardio down to 6 days of 25 minutes. Keep me updated, let me know how you're feeling at the end of tomorrow after you've had a full rest day, and then we'll go from there and kind of addressing the rest of the week. Alright, got some vitamin D3, and more importantly, I got my Keto Mojo ketone monitor, which I'm really pumped about. So let's check it out. So it's 11:15 and I just finished up check-ins for the day. So I'm gonna have my first meal. One thing about having that coffee with the coconut oil and butter, while it can be a bit of a stereotype with keto, is it actually really helps just curb my hunger through the morning, where I can really focus on getting my work done as opposed to focusing on eating or having to kind of fuel up every couple of hours. It really holds me over so that I can get done with check-ins, get through my work, and then after I get done, kind of start the day of eating. So that's been a cool adjustment over the past week since I've been doing keto, and I've really enjoyed it. One thing about eating is it drives blood flow from your body into your digestive tract so that your body can, adequately digest the food that you take in. But with that, it will actually reduce the amount of blood flow just going to your brain, which is one reason that we often feel relaxed, maybe even a little bit tired or lethargic after a large meal. So one benefit of fasting through the morning, although it might not be the best for hypertrophy, is it can actually help with your cognitive function a bit. So I've really enjoyed that aspect of it, since hypertrophy isn't my primary focus right now, despite training hard and continuing to progress in the gym. It's really allowing me to shift my focus towards other goals, such as performance and work, and being able to be very engaged mentally and focused and clear-headed throughout the morning. So I'll scan this now. And you can see here that my current blood glucose is 63. So it seems like today is the lowest that it's been consistently. And what's cool is this app has charts, so I can compare what is my fasting glucose or my average glucose through the day today versus yesterday versus the last 7 days. So I can see that comparison as I get deeper into ketosis and in comparison to when I was on a vegan diet, which was a fairly high carb diet. Now, one thing that you might have seen was with my Mojo ketometer, I think that's the word, I don't know, keto monitor, I'm at 0.5. So that is just at that threshold of breaking into nutritional ketosis. What I really want to see is getting up to 1 to 3. That range would be awesome if I could see that by the end of this week. So it's taken a little longer than I thought to get into ketosis, but I haven't been extremely strict with keeping carbs as low as possible. So one thing that I've done in the mornings is I'll have an Alani Nu energy drink, and that has 3 grams of carbs in it. Maybe that's one reason, or I'll have avocado with meal 1, and that does have a few grams of carbs in it. So by the end of the day, my total carb count is about 40 grams. My net carbs about 20 to 25 grams. So it may just be that I'm a little bit high in my overall carb intake, preventing me from getting into a deeper level of ketosis. So I'm gonna be interested to see. I'm gonna hold steady with nutrition today, same nutrition I've been doing, and then compare tomorrow's fasted ketone level to see, am I getting deeper into ketosis on my current level of nutrition, or do I need to pull carbs down a bit more aggressively? When you're getting into ketosis, it can take a little bit more of an aggressive approach to get there than it does to necessarily maintain it or get back into keto if you get bumped out. So it may just mean that I need to keep carbs lower than 40 grams in order to get into ketosis, and then I can bring them back up or allow them to fluctuate a bit more thereafter. So this is all part of the experiment. It's a pretty cool process. I'm excited to just learn more about how my body responds. But for now, I'm hungry. So let's have my first meal. I'm gonna have an egg, a yolk, some salmon, mushrooms, spinach, and avocado. So I'll show you what I made.
Dime si te acuerdas cuando estaba aquí. Purple flowers, escuchando a Takiti. Siempre en mi mente cuando piense en ti. Hablándome en otro idioma, sí, baby. 사랑한다고 말해줘. 사랑한다고 말해줘. dímelo lento, baby, más lento. 사랑한다고 말해줘. 사랑한다고 말해줘. Give me up when I give me 아마 스위트 switch처럼 나잖아. We can take it slow. Banging on the despacito club 안에서 처음 봐서 baby 혼자 있어. Yeah. 시간 있어 여기 나가서 좀 마시자.
So meal 1 is done. Since I'm caught up on work, I'm gonna go for a quick walk. This isn't something that I do every day, but since I'm now training in the morning, I'd like to get my walk in at some point. So I'm gonna kind of play around with getting it done after I get check-ins done, which is usually around noon or 1, and then if that doesn't work potentially at the end of the day. Although I do like yoga at the end of the day. So the way that I'm kind of planning this training block or activity block, so to speak, is morning training with right now just 10 minutes or so of cardio, an afternoon walk, and then evening yoga. So pretty active overall, but still that shouldn't be more than about 2.5 hours of my day, which is pretty crazy to think that that used to be just one lift. Only a few months ago, it would take me at least 2 hours to train, but usually about 3 if I was training with a partner. So it's pretty cool to be able to work out more efficiently, split it up throughout the day, which breaks up my day a little bit more. And overall, my enjoyment is a lot higher because I get some variety with my activity. So back from my walk, and also had some veggies in the oven here. Have broccoli and then stir fry. Both of these are from Costco. Highly recommend, if you're in it for convenience at all, getting frozen veggies from Costco is the way to go. You just get a lot at a time. It's super affordable, and then you can kind of batch cook things. It's a little bit easier than cooking from raw as well. Now I will say, looking at this stir fry blend, it has carrots, bell peppers, string beans, yellow squash, broccoli, and some of those things are going to be higher carb. So although veggies are great and I'm not going to reduce my overall veggie intake, like I talked about, when you're getting into ketosis, you're gonna be a little bit more sensitive to having carbs. So when I'm choosing my veggie sources, I'm really watching the amount of carbs that I have in my vegetables, at least while I get into ketosis. And then I'm gonna really play around and see, what can I have? Can I really allow all carbs from veggies without needing to restrict vegetable carbs? So I'm not really adding a lot of carbs in the day, but when you think about veggie intake, even some protein powder, Greek yogurt, some cheeses, avocado, olives, all of those have some carbs. So by the end of the day, it does end up adding up. So again, not holding back necessarily from eating vegetables, but just during this first phase while I figure out how many carbs I need in a day to get into ketosis, I'm gonna keep things pretty consistent until I can get into that 1 to 3 ketone range. So I will use the broccoli and I will kind of pick out the greens from the stir fry. No worries, Dee will eat the rest. And then over time, I'll work on incorporating more carbs from vegetables and kind of see how my body responds to that. So super interested to see how this goes. And right now, just keeping things as consistent as possible.
Dime si te acuerdas cuando estaba aquí. Purple flowers, escuchando a Takiti. Siempre en mi mente cuando piense en ti. Hablándome en otro idioma, sí, baby. Sarahanda mare, yo. Sarahanda mare, yo. Dímelo lento, baby, más lento. Sarahanda mare, yo. Hey, you got me singing. 지금 들어가 너 집에 있잖아 yeah 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 좋아하니까 빅포션 you 올라 너도 좋아하잖아 yeah yeah Estoy enamorado siempre estás contigo.
So it is 2:45. I just had my second meal of the day, lunch. That's one of my favorite meals right now. I actually really like lean meat, although I do have some fattier meat later in the day. And of course the sardines have quite a bit of fat with the added olive oil. But I like to pour the olive oil onto the chicken and then heat the chicken up a bit with the cheese, and that helps rehydrate the chicken. Chicken can be super dry when you reheat it, so cooking it in the olive oil from the sardines, massive trick. So currently I am spending the afternoon reading some assigned homework for my certified intuitive eating counselor course. So I'm currently in a 7-week course for that, having done the book and the workbook for that. Now I'm in the webinar series, which requires a lot of journal studying. So reading about obesity and weight loss and how our cultural obsession over needing to lose weight or stigmatize people based on their weights is so counterproductive to health and well-being and healthy relationship with food. And I've learned so much. So I'm gonna spend the afternoon finishing up those articles, and then I have yoga at 7:30. So I'll catch you guys up. It's pretty boring to sit there and watch me read journal articles, but that's what I'll be doing for the next few hours. And that's my day. So I'll catch up with you later. All right, so research papers read, brain is officially completely fried, and it is just after 6. I have yoga at 7:30, so I'm gonna have my dinner now, and then I'll have my snack when I get home, as long as I'm feeling hungry. You know, with keto, there's rules around it in terms of needing to maintain a certain carb intake and fat intake in order to get into and stay in ketosis, which is the ultimate goal of being in keto. That said, I still want to honor my body, and while I know that following a diet plan is not in alignment completely with eating intuitively, I really want to honor my body throughout this process. So if ever along the way I start to not feel well, or there's things that come up, like say I plan to have a snack when I get home, but I get home from yoga and I'm just not hungry, I'm not gonna force it. So things like that, I just think it's really important to make note of that following a keto diet is not eating intuitively. However, I am listening to what my body is telling me by following a diet that is actually in alignment to what I've been craving. And to be honest, I actually really enjoy the food choices on a keto plan. So I'm learning to find that balance, and as a personal researcher and coach, I think it's cool to have the opportunity to try out different diets and get that subjective experience so that I can guide others through that process with integrity, having known what that experience is like. So just want to clarify that, because I know intuitive eating has been a massive part of my journey. I think it's amazing. I'm a big fan of it, and I think that we should all move towards that, but I don't think that that necessarily negates the value of trying different styles of eating to see how your body feels and in what way you might best function, and what kind of diet may inspire the best relationship with food and activity. So making dinner now, going to fry up some cabbage. I'm just gonna saute it, and then I'll throw I got some 90-10 bison from Costco in the pan with it, so it'll kind of cook together. I might kind of split the bison and chicken. I'm just kind of craving chicken right now. So again, just listening to my body. That will pull down the fat content a little bit of this meal, but it should still be pretty similar. And then add some sunflower, pumpkin seeds, and Kalamata olives. It is 8:45, just got back from yoga. It was a restore class, and that means I basically laid on the floor and did a lot of deep stretching, so nothing too intense. Kind of rotate back and forth between restore classes and a little bit more intense yoga classes based on the schedule for the week and how I'm feeling. With my Oura ring, I saw my HRV was pretty low today. Overall recovery levels pretty low. I'm kind of feeling it, so I think just attending to that, not necessarily using that as the only driver of decision making, but taking it into account when I decide how much activity I'm going to do in a day is important. So I had the option between a power class, which is the most intense yoga class, or a restore, and it seemed like a good option to go with the restore. Hopefully I'll be a little bit more recharged tomorrow, be able to continue to dig in, and probably go to a little bit more intense yoga class tomorrow. So now I'm gonna have my final meal, which is a snack. And here I have 80 grams of Greek yogurt, a third of a scoop of Ghost Vegan Whey vegan pea protein, and a tablespoon of almond butter. So with keto, we talk about carbs. Also, protein is often associated with having an insulin response. But the reason that I'm only using a third of a scoop of protein powder is because a scoop of Ghost protein has 6 carbs in it. So probably not the best as I'm trying to get into ketosis. So I like it a lot. It's my favorite protein powder I've ever had. I absolutely love it. It's peanut butter. It mixes just with water and it tastes like PB2. It's amazing. But it might not be the best option for keto. So I'm gonna use it in moderation going forward. But like I said, if I get to the point where I can't really get up to that 1 to 3 range on my ketones, then I might start removing things like Greek yogurt, removing things like that protein powder, going back to Pro HD for a little bit, just to pull carbs down from those extra sources, really help streamline things into ketosis. That is it. Thank you guys for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and comment below. I'm going to continue sharing this journey with you. I'm learning more every single day, and my diet has changed a little bit every day, although my macros in general have been about the same. So I'll keep you updated on the process and what I learn. Hopefully that gives you some insight if you decide to try this on your own journey, or just give you some ideas for what it's like to be in ketosis. So, thank you guys. I will catch you next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm really looking forward to sharing more of my journey on keto. I wanted to give a shout out to a new company that I'm working with, MacroFactor, which is an awesome app, the best one I've ever found in regards to counting your calories and macros. And it's my favorite not only because of the extensive database that they have for nutrition, but also the ease of use. It has a really fun layout and format, but also because it's dynamic and it will help you to set calorie and macro goals based on your actual intake. So as you log your intake, it will give you feedback each week based on your logged weights and the amount of food you actually ate, not just the amount of food that's already assigned, which is awesome because that's personalized feedback and about as personalized as you can get with an automated program. Big fan of it. Big thanks to Greg Knuckles for bringing me on the team. And if you would like to get a 2-week free trial, you can download the app and go through the sign up process and then put in my code OLDSOUL at checkout for a discount. So thank you guys. Please let me know if you have questions about the app or anything else covered, and I will catch you next time.